And it's just like, it just breaks my heart to think that he would get to that point where, you know, killing himself was the answer. And
well, it's even harder for younger people because they don't have a lot of life experiences and they don't know that, like a guy like you or I who's lived a long time and have seen a lot of shit, that you've gone through your ups and downs, and when you hit a down, you go, well, this sucks, but I know it's going to get better.
Yeah.
Just got to figure out why it sucks, address why it sucks,
Right.
Apologize if you need to, correct whatever the issue is that's making you feel like shit, pull yourself out of it, do a bunch of positive things. Next thing you know, you're going to be okay again.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're 21 years old, you think the world's over.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I remember when my girlfriend dumped me when I was 18. I was so fucking bummed out. I couldn't imagine living without her.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't believe that this is over.
Yeah.
I can't believe you're so devastated because you're a baby.
Right.
You're
right.
an 18-year-old baby. You don't know jack shit. But when you get older and you've had more life experiences and more things, you get more perspective and you kind of understand like what this feeling is, this bad feeling. And you just know, well, hey, I just got to get the fuck out of the house. I got to go hang out with my friends. I got to go do a bunch of positive things, go hit the gym, take a yoga class, do something fun, and then everything's going to be okay. You realize, hey, you know, look, life's not perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect life. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. But when you're 21 years old, it's very difficult to see that. And also, who knows what else was going on in his life, whether it was pills or whether it's head trauma. You know, a lot of football players wind up killing themselves. It's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
It's directly related to head trauma.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't want to speculate on any of that. It's just
it's horrible.
I get a lot of, when you said, well, you go hang out with your friends, it sometimes, because I've been in certain groups where even my friends aren't positive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're like, that even makes it worse. They can. So, I mean, that's where I see the positives of social media. And I wish I could respond to everybody who sends me a message and just say, hey, you know, and it's cliche, keep hammering or whatever, but I know I get inspiration from people online. And if I get a shout out, it feels good.
Sure.
Doesn't mean anything.
The Rock wears your T-shirt.
Doesn't mean, I don't know if it doesn't mean anything.
It does mean something.
But it does to me, you know? And so I just know what it's like to be in a small town and to not, I'm not saying I didn't have any positive friends or whatever, but I know what it'd feel like to not have anybody to really lean on, you know?
Yeah.
And so I try to think about maybe people like I was. And man, I just think we can, I don't know, together, shit, we can do a lot of positive things. It just, like I said, it breaks my heart to think of people living negative.
Yeah. And it's really because you're scared of seeing that yourself.
Yeah. That's probably the truth. That's probably the truth. So I guess a lot of times in my life, I would see people, and it probably was a direct reflection of who I was. And I would get mad at them, but in reflection, it's probably just getting mad at myself.
Yeah, that's for me, 100%. When I see people that are half-assing things, I get terrified of seeing that in myself, and I get mad at them.
Right.
And it's not a good way to handle it.
No.
You know, but it's natural because you're just terrified of seeing that trait.
Right. And it cost me.
So you come back, you do the quarter mile,
right?
You walk back home. How do you regroup?
So what I did, I sat down there and I put Rocky in. I got my milkshake, put Rocky. I said, you know what? I was big time in Rocky and Platoon. Why Platoon? I love to see people who were getting beat down, and there's scenes. There's scenes that just drove me, and people in my Hell Weeks, you know, I was in 3 of them, they'd always hear me singing these songs, humming these songs in torturous situations. When everybody's quitting this fucking code, I would be somewhere gone, somewhere fucking gone, and somewhere fucking dark as shit. There's a scene in Platoon when Barnes shoots Elias, and, you know, they think Elias is dead, and the choppers are tanking off. And Charlie Sheen's asking, you know, Tom Berenger, where's Elias? Where's Elias? William Dafoe. Oh, I found him back there dead somewhere. And through the woods, the Viet Cong is chasing Elias through the woods, and they're shooting him in his fucking back. And all he wants to do is get to the fucking chopper. He's getting shot in his back. He's getting up. He's getting shot in his back. He's getting up. And you see this guy just fighting. I love the fucking guy who just fucking fights. And so I put these things in as reminders that you're going to have to fucking suffer, man. This fucking 0.25, man, this is, man, you're going to have to fucking suffer to go from this fat, insecure motherfucker to one of the best guys on the planet Earth. This journey is going to take something that is going to be incomprehensible to most people. And these different visualizations, how I visualize in my self-talk, it became so nasty and dirty that I almost liked the fact that I went 0.25. So it became from being defeated to like, man, all right, motherfucker, maybe tomorrow we can go 0.75. It just became this different mindset. I turned negatives into positives. So I would take it like, who would even think about doing this? So I would sit on my couch saying, who at 297, who can't fucking swim that great, who's scared of the fucking water, would have the fucking balls? Who had the balls to fucking man up, quit a job, and go and just put everything on himself? So it's how I started talking to myself and putting myself in a whole different category, and that would fuel me the next day, and I just kept using that as fuel. No one would do this shit. No one would do this shit. You're the baddest motherfucker around. You're the baddest motherfucker ever lived. And I just kept fueling me with the right kind of message that I needed to hear that I was never telling myself. And through time, it became reality to myself.
So you start out on the first.
I had a chocolate milkshake. I sat down and I gave up. I said, this ain't gonna fucking happen, man. I gotta lose 106 pounds and I can't even go a quarter of a fucking mile. I started being able to take negative shit and be happy. And this whole, I say what if a lot, it sounds corny and it sounds weak, but it's true. One of the recruiters said there's not many black Navy SEALs. Matter of fact, I was the 36th African-American SEAL in history. It's in over 70 years. Because of the fucking water,
Right.
I mean, people get mad at me. It's fucking true. Just get over it. And so I was like, man, what story would it be if my fucking fat, dumb, lying to be friends with people, insecure ass can overcome this shit? And that what if mentality, like that dreamer mentality, just would always fuel me. It would just fuel me, man. What if I can be a SEAL, man? What if I can go from running a quarter of a fucking mile, now I run 205 miles. What if I can go? What if I can go? And what if, how would that feel if I'm graduating? Because I'll never forget at the graduation thing I was talking about, 224, like the video I sat down and watched. This commanding officer stood up and he said to the graduation guys who are graduating buds, like 18 of them, he said, we live in a society where mediocrity is often rewarded. And he went on to say something about these men detest mediocrity. And I wanted to be a man that detests mediocrity. It got me in a lot of trouble in the SEAL teams and going forward in my life because I started looking down on people for not going hard as fucking shit. And I started to create different things, but that's for a different day. But I just believed that, like I planned, I give him to the doctor immediately. And I was like, hey, you got to give me that fucking phone. I got to call up Chris Kosman, let him know I did 100 miles so I can get in the bad water. It didn't go as like I planned, but I did get in the bad water after another race. But
didn't you do a marathon like how
yes.
long later?
So basically, I had never run a marathon.
Right.
I did the 100-mile race first, no training. But I had signed up for the marathon because it's the first Las Vegas marathon running down the strip of Las Vegas. So Las Vegas had a marathon, but this is the first time it's going to go down the strip. 2005, I'm like, hey, I'm going to sign up for it. I went on to Iraq, did deployment. When I come back, I'll be training for it, and I'll go do this race with my family. Me and my ex-wife and my mom signed up for it. So in Iraq, me and my boy, Sledge, in the book, we're just working out. We're doing crazy workouts. And my cardio was 20 minutes every Sunday on the elliptical trainer. That's the only cardio I did. So I call myself training for this marathon, right? So then, my boys got killed in that incident that happened, lone survivor, the whole Operation Red Wings. So that's what prompted me to do the 100-mile race. After the 100-mile race in November, it was like 2 or 3 weeks later, that marathon that we all signed up for that I didn't train for. I didn't train for the 100-mile race, didn't train at all for this. Like, hey, I'll drive there with you all. Because I tried to run the day before. Like, I can't even run down the block. So I didn't do it. So we're driving to the race. I said, hey, Mom, my mom's going to walk it. I said, I'm going to walk it with you. My ex-wife, I said, you can go ahead and take off, do your thing, run your race. I'm going to walk with my mom. That gun went off, and something fucking happened. I took off. I was like, what? I took off like a jackrabbit. Gone. I was like, what the hell? So I was thinking the whole time, I was like, man, I just ran 100 miles like 3 weeks ago, like first time ever. I was peeing blood and pissing shit on myself. I go, my body's broken. My Achilles and my tendons and my feet are broken. I go, what is this? And every time I started running further and further, I go, okay, I got to the 10K. I'm on Boston Marathon time. Because I knew the Boston Marathon was like 3:10:59 for my age. I'm like, hang on a second. And then I started using all this external shit for motivation. I'm like, okay, who the fuck can go out here and run 100 miles, no training? And then I'm broken. Most broken I've been in my life. And now I'm running a marathon. Who could do it? So I started just feeding myself. I get to half the mile. I'm about 30 seconds off the pace. I said, hang on, man, you're Goggins. You can do this shit, man. And I started just feeding myself. You can do this. Before I knew it, man, I got to like the last 6 miles, and I was off the pace, and I just kicked it. And next thing I knew, I did like a 3:08 and change. I was like, and that was like, what the fuck? What have I been leaving on the table?
Right.
I've been leaving so much on the fucking table for pain. And that's when I started like going crazy about the mind. Like, what the hell am I, like, what is up? Like, it opened these different doors of like possibility and like, what is humanly possible? What are we capable of? Like, you know, people, I didn't even know. I was just amazed by what I was able to do by a simple fact of just reasoning and working with pain and pain management. And my mind just kept on growing from there. And it happened in Hell Week. It happened in the 100 mile race. It happened here. It started just evolving into what it is now, to where now I'm like, God, dog, man, the mind, we are leaving so much on the table. But people take me, he cusses so much, he sounds crazy. Don't listen to all that shit, man. Just cut out the bullshit. Cut the bullshit. Just get to the weeds of that. You are fucking yourself up by not examining your brain. You're not examining your brain. Message it. That's done. You examine your fucking brain, and that takes some hard work and suffering. If you're not willing to do that, I'm sorry.
And it seems like there's no way to do that as a bystander.
No, you can't watch it, man.
Yeah.
You gotta get out there and be like, oh, this hurts. This hurts real fucking bad. I don't think this is smart. And then, guess what happens? The body will adjust. It will adjust. And everybody goes, well, then the next question I get, but is there a time when it doesn't adjust? What the fuck? I get some of the stupidest shit, man. Like, don't take it with a grain of fucking salt, people.
Those questions are people that are wanting to quit.
Yes. And that's what I say.
When should I quit?
Yeah, like, did you ever like feel like, no, shut the fuck up. Stop. I don't want to, like, that. There's always that next question. No, don't take it like, go out there and run through a brick wall as many times as you can. No, I'm not saying be me. Don't run 205 miles at one time. I'm not saying do that. I'm saying start to learn the mind is powerful. It's powerful, man. It's unbelievable.
But people need a thing to get them going, right? They need a thing.
Right.
They need a goal. They need a like it's well, sometimes the first step is the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's hard to take that 1 million step too, but sometimes the first step is the most. There's something about the. What do I do? They start going over their phone. They start calling people. They don't get out of the house. Like
Right.
And there's something about procrastination. It's like, it's painful.
Oh, yeah.
You know you should be doing things, but you just keep doing it. You keep itching that scab.
I procrastinate like a motherfucker, man, every day. I don't want to do this shit. That's what's so funny, man. People looking like I'm some damn superhero that came down from the gods, from the heavens of earth. No, man. I don't want to do this shit. I'm looking at my shoes for 30 minutes sometimes thinking, man, fuck, man, people look up to you, Goggins. Fuck them. I don't want to do this shit. I'm like, I want to do this shit, but guess what?
You do it.
I'm going to do it.
As long as you do it.
And that's what I know about it, man. That's why I stopped doing it. I'm thinking, oh, man, you're going to fucking
Mount Pixel, you're running up there in that clean air and
You know,
You're also running out there when you run Mount Pixel. You're running up there in that clean air and
Yeah.
beautiful view. And it's
Oh,
like
yeah,
you're getting
yeah.
just a
It's healthy all the
beautiful
way around.
dose of nature.
yeah, it's healthy all the way around, and it's so I just look at it as like, hey, I'm doing this. If I get to run with anybody else and it's a distraction, that's just kind of, you know, the exception rather than the rule.
How many days a week are you running these days?
Every day,
Every day. Sunday too.
every day.
Every day. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I always say rest days are for pussies.
But the thing is, you're doing the same thing every day too. You don't even mix it up.
Yeah,
I mix it up.
yeah.
You know, like I'll do kickboxing one day, yoga the next day. For me, I have to mix it up. If I don't mix it up, I go crazy.
The way I've found it, because I used to bike, I used to do all these things, but nothing compares to running. If you just want to get not only just for fitness, but discipline, running.
Yeah.
Running sucks for everyone. So it's like just to be able to get out there and get in a groove, that's discipline.
Yep.
And I've used that discipline for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So, but it's, you know, the building block is, and it makes shooting a bow. So we talked about shooting a bow as discipline. That's fun.
Yeah.
If you can't get out and shoot a bow, it's like, come on.
Yeah, it's way more fun than running.
Yeah, right. So that's why I look at it. It's like, you know, because I always say run, lift, shoot. Lifting, you get a good pump, whatever. You got some music going. You can get kind of jacked up. Shooting is just fun. It's running. That's the key to the discipline. So,
Yeah, you're doing something to your mind. You're forcing your mind to it strengthens that ability to get in that groove. And
yeah. Yeah.
you know, sometimes I hear my breath when I'm running, and you know, when I'm really pushing it, when I'm going up a hill, and it's so satisfying that you could keep up the pace.
Yeah.
You know, there's something about keeping up that pace that's so satisfying. And me, I always run with the dog. You know, so it's like I got my buddy. He comes running back to me. I'm so happy. He's so fucking happy, man. I had to film how he jumps out of the truck because when I bring him to the trail.